Gen.G, the fans in chat, have their back as well. FaZe, can you take them down one more time? Let's find out, folks. The winner of this goes to Boston.
9 North American regionals and 2 majors. And at the end of every single one of these weekends, one of these 2 teams has played the final match. Now they don't make the finals of the Invitational, they've still got the last match of the weekend. Time to close out the North American season with FaZe and Gen.G, everything on the line for the Spring Major in Boston.
Both teams have struggled here in the Spring Invitational, but they both have one last life to make the major. It's going to be a showdown already. You're seeing pressure coming out from Gen.G. On the side of FaZe Clan, they have to be locked in as well. Again, coming off of yesterday's loss to Optic Gaming, FaZe Clan trying to make sure they can correct those mistakes in such a short time.
5-4, the head-to-head advantage this season for, I believe it was FaZe Clan that had that edge just barely, with the last 3 in a row going to the FaZe squad. And they keep that rolling, or does Gen.G return to form at the last possible moment? Make their way to yet another of these 3 majors. It's first killer to roll one downfield. Noli intercepts him, and it's Chronic now for Noli. Stopped by Typical. A lot of familiarity between these 2 squads. Apparently Jack will play one across, and he is met by Sip again. Both these teams, so much firepower, but also excellent defense to go with it. Who's gonna blink first here on Manfield?
So far, things have kind of been shifting left and right. Gen.G have already 4 shots to their name. FaZe are sitting with 2, but FaZe has been able to transition into possession really well, making Gen.G have to earn every spot upfield. Missed, though, with a good shot on. Noli is save out.
That's Noli trying to catch the defense napping, and his first killer. Good communication with Mist. First, as that blocked away by Chronic. There's apparently Jack right at Mist, over to Typical. Both teams unflinching at the moment.
But still, saw first killer get a little too aggressive there on that back third line. FaZe have to keep their composure. One wrong bounce, things could go in favor of Gen.G, but it's still been a tight game so far.
A single best of 7 with so much on the line, not just for the major, but of course, as they mentioned on the desk, the #1 overall seed for North America at the World Championship. Here's Mist, he's got a lane to shoot through, and apparently Jack recognized it immediately, cut it down. Here goes Noli now, with Chronic running underneath them. It's all Noli, blocked by first killer. Apparently Jack up the ladder, and Typical stopped him there too. Typical putting in a lot of effort defensively here, where normally we expect that to be Mist, but it's been Sip who's picked up a lot of the slack.
Things are still kind of slow on the side of Gen.G. You can tell they're just trying to get their feet planted, figure out what's the best way to approach this game here. But as the game continues, things have been warming up. That being said, FaZe Clan sat here with a little bit of room. You saw first killer trying to get that initial dribble. So far, still scoreless, with both teams had at least 4 shots on either side, but no one necessarily making things too threatening just yet.
This falls right to Mist. He'll have boost and ball, and a lot of time and space. Got around Chronic, got the bump, and first killer scores!
Good aggressive play there for Mist to start things off. Gets this one on the hood, past Chronic, sees Jack come up, take him out the play, and first killer's just that much faster. FaZe with the first goal.
It's a great setup. Kind of breaks up the monotony. Now here is Mist. Just throw it at the backboard, try and generate another opportunity. Gen.G, much as they've struggled, they've been afforded this kind of last call here to try and right all the wrongs from the split. It was say the wrongs. It was so incredibly tight all throughout the standings. 1 point separates these 2 squads from a team like Version 1, who, of course, won one of these regionals and will be watching from home with the Boston Major. That's what a couple of 9 through 12 finishes will get you, as Jack and Noli couldn't get out of each other's way. First killer, drop down, pass back to Mist, Oh, that should have been converted. It goes just wide, and new life now for Gen.G.
Yeah, good numbers advantage play there from FaZe, but unable to get that final touch on the goal. Back-to-back demos, and that was going to be a different question coming into this. We know FaZe are used to the physicality. Is missed with the double! Chronic tried to stop him. You give him that for free. That's what happens. 2 goals for FaZe.
Yeah, Chronic in a real tough spot here, and he just goes splat on the crossbar. It's a difficult read even for the top guys. And with 40 seconds left, FaZe get that all-important insurance goal. Gotta be time to scramble now for a Gen.G. Apparently Jack right at miss, trying to stay with it and maybe bring it down central. Did not work out. Here goes first killer. Final 30 seconds, and no incentive to give it away. Just burned another 5 seconds off the clock, and Gen.G, I think reality's setting in here that they're gonna be down in this series, barring one really good push here.
Final 10. There's at least a chance there. As Chronic gets a ceiling pinch, Noli will get the light touch. Jack will try to get the shot pass, but first killer will deny any chance of Gen.G Mobile 1 getting back into this game. It's going to be all FaZe here on Manfield night, as they are now 3 games away from Boston.
Wouldn't say it was necessarily dominant, but it was as good as you could ask for. These two teams coming in obviously very cold, but they get 7 shots out of missed. 1 goes in at the end. That's all it takes. FaZe Clan get a shutout over Gen.G to kick off our tiebreaker.
You got to think about Mist here, too. A lot of criticism from him after yesterday's loss. People were bringing up his hours left and right. He shows up and shows out here with 100% goal participation, 7 shots. You see him even getting a little bit more active there as we take a look at our Mobile 1 high-performance replay. Big double there for Mist to kind of set the tone here. And you got to think, too, looking at FaZe Clan yesterday, they went 7 games against a very physical Optic Gaming roster. They're going to take that and apply that forward. For Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing, they have to be able to get not only locked in and ready for that type of play, but if they come out too slow, FaZe are just going to take this series into their own hands. Game 2 getting started.
Philosophical question here. Can it be the Mobile 1 high-performance replay if there are no Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing highlights?
I don't think I'm contractually obligated to answer that question. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Here goes first killer as we start game 2 at Forbidden Temple. Best of 7 still for the qualification for the Boston Major takeover at Aganis Arena. Noli with a good pick. Got to score this on a tough angle, and he does.
There's one there for Noli, able to get on the board here. You see first killer trying to get that initial challenge. Noli takes it away from him and then just puts the shot through. Very narrow angle there. Gen.G start off with the game, with the goal in game 2.
Yeah, it took him a while to get really any good looks in game 1. They were so few and far between, so it's great for Gen.G to see them off and running very early on here. We so often talk about, the timeout buff and the importance of having the extra time in the timeout. But sometimes, at least when you've got a really good coach and you've got really smart players, that minute in between games can be very valuable as well. Apparently Jack will leave this for Noli. Chronic lurking on the right side. He'll come up and give it a look, but first killer's got it around him, so it's apparently Jack bringing it in. Flip, reset, under 1, tried to roll it through Sip, but again, his defense superb. Follow up here, no. Apparently Jack to make it 2 and Mist saved it.
So close. Noli went for the bump on Mist, but didn't get it. Now ball transition here for FaZe. Dunk off the back wall. Chance for Mist. Could not get it past Gen.G, who's set defensively. Now we're starting to see things move up and down the field, with both teams getting settled, now starting to take shots at each other.
It's only going to get better as the series rolls on, too. Again, 2 teams very, very familiar with each other. 10th meeting of this season. First time they've met since the Winter Major. And the shot here from apparently Jack. Far side, 2-0.
Well, you got Noli blowing up the goal line. It makes it real easy for Jack. Takes out first killer, Toodaloo miss, and Jack able to get that second goal for Gen.G. FaZe Clan just couldn't recuperate after Noli took out the back line.
Well, this was the scoreline in reverse in game 1. So Gen.G really kicking it off now. It is Chronic over Mist. Got clipped on the way through. Can still stay with this, though. First killer had to be sure to get around him. Typical avoids contact from Chronic. But there's Nolly with the block, and Mist will have to go all the way back to his back line, but give the boost off to First Killer. First Killer on the back wall, and he uses that boost to challenge Chronic back all the way to the Gen.G corner. Oh, Typical could still play this. Mist is waiting, and apparently Jack just skied up there because he knew he could not go right at Mist.
He's starting to get more in control on the side of Gen.G. So far, very solid movement, possession of the ball. And FaZe, even though they've had strong chances there for a counter, they haven't found the back of the net. Even with that shot from First Killer's off target. And now FaZe Clan gonna have to try to recover the ball.
Missed opportunity there, and there is Mist to stop this, but now it's Chronic. Right at First Killer, off of First Killer, and Typical in the right place at the right time. Give him a savior medal at the halfway point now of game 2. And now the shot from Mist. Saved away by apparently Jack, and now Typical in a real tough spot. Not really sure what to do with this ball. Instead, he gave it away to apparently Jack and then took it right back. Nolly now, taken away by Mist, and he'll just throw it downfield and let everybody reset.
Mist's shooting has been elevating. If he continues to get more of those looks, FaZe definitely can see them on the board here very soon. Gen.G let FaZe to their own half, and they really were able to get kind of a decent foothold there. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. Still less than 2 minutes to go, and it's a 2-goal game in favor of Gen.G Mobile 1. They started things off strong, but FaZe still looking for a way back. They've got plenty of time to do so.
FaZe Clan had their opportunity to punch their ticket themselves into the major yesterday, and it looked like they were in great position to do so, and then disaster struck. They were reverse swept by Optic. The one silver lining you could take from it, at least it happened yesterday. They've had a whole day to get over it and get ready for this eventuality. Of course, they knew very early on, as did Gen.G, that they'd be in this match after G2 dropped in the opening series, or rather the second series of the day. Here's Nolly and Typical battling in the corner. Nolly comes away with it, and more frustration now for FaZe as they continue to trail, and it may be by 3. There's apparently Jack adding another.
I didn't think Jack would get a piece here. He looks a little awkward on the initial touch. Goes up, gets that light touch, activates the dodge, and just got a piece of Typical's tail, throwing him off that ball. 3-0 in favor of Gen.G. What a turnaround from game 1.
Yeah, this has been as good as you could ask for out of Gen.G. Nolly dropped down. Chronic, a little wayward there in the corner, but they don't need anything else towards the net. They just gotta hold the line now for 40-some-odd seconds. Here's apparently Jack. Chronic, redirect is on target. Typical the save, but can they stop this? Well, there's nothing to stop. Jack's shot at the end is sent away by Mist. They did get caught a little forward there, but of course with FaZe all packed in like sardines, it didn't really matter.
And they're going to keep this control. I mean, look at this. Even Jack trying to dribble it back before it gets demoed. Keep the ball low on the ground. Not giving up anything late here on the side of Gen.G. Final 15 seconds in game 2. And they completely shut out FaZe so far. They'll have one more chance to try to get things going. Shut down in the midfield. Jack, with that double, just has to ground the ball, and it will be grounded by Gen.G. 3-0, shut out on the side of FaZe Clan Gen.G. Well done to keep this series entertaining.
One good defensive stand deserves another. And despite 6 saves out of FaZe Clan, they did not have an answer for the barrage of shots out of Gen.G. They storm back with 9 of their own and make a statement of their own. Chronic on his way out. He'll be back presumably with a different car as we look back at
crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. We look back at what we now can call a Mobile 1 high-performance replay, more like a Gen.G Mobile 1 high-performance replay, as apparently Jack and the squad feeling a lot more confident than they were about 7 or 8 minutes ago.
Yeah, and speaking of confidence, that guy on the screen right there, Chronic, you saw him with a little bit more mechanical plays there towards the end of the game. I think someone said it even on the desk. I think it was Turtle. Anybody, like, once Chronic gets things going mechanically and he feels comfortable and confident, this is a different Gen.G team. Nolly and Jack are doing their parts, and it helps them equalize the series. But on the side of FaZe Clan, things were looking very shaky, normally known for how good they've been playing defensively this split. You didn't see that, especially towards the end of game 2.
Well, we are off and running very quickly now on DFH Stadium to break a 1-all tie. Again, in this best of 7 with the winner taking all, not just qualification to Boston, but the #1 seed for North America in Dusseldorf, as that's deflected wide. And now Chronic got bumped on the way through, so first killer just waits for a pass that doesn't get there, courtesy of Nolly. But there's a clear from Mist. You got the All-American squad here in FaZe Clan versus everybody's favorite, obviously American player in Nolly, leading this Gen.G squad. Now Mist. First killer to his right. Mist going to call his own number and get nothing out of it.
Still, though, good showing there on the side of FaZe Clan. They're being able to move the ball around. Their rotations are starting to get a little bit more spaced out. That early aggression was working for them in game 1, but then a couple of demos later on the side of Gen.G, and FaZe have had to kind of rethink their strategy. Still a little awkward there on the ball, but first killer gets a little help from Typical, and they'll finally get this to the midfield.
Dished off to Mist, and that goes to the corner, but here comes apparently Jack very quickly. Tried to get a little wave dash on the challenge, did not work out, and now Jack will have this fall right into his lap. Second touch not there, so first killer will boom it away, and everybody will get boosted up for FaZe Clan. They haven't had a lot of sustained attacks on the offensive end, even in game 1 where they got a couple of goals. They didn't get many second and third chance opportunities. They've been one and done for the most part through 2.5 games.
You see just a little bit more speed on the plays here as well. Things start to kind of turn up on both sides. Mist. Oh, that's a big dunk out too. Gen.G have had this space, but they haven't necessarily been able to gain control. That's credit to FaZe's ability to be able to get things down. No way. That is crazy. Pitch in the net from Mist. There was a little bit of blue on that trail. Chronic and Mist come together, and the ball goes all the way into the lower left corner. FaZe Clan up in game 3.
76 miles an hour by the time it got in there. That's after friction did its work. All right. So that's how FaZe breaks a scoreless tie here in game 3. First killer up to meet this ball, and now Chronic right there at the center line, and he's just going to buy Gen.G as much time as they could possibly need. And he even got the challenge there on Mist to keep it neutral. But now here goes Sip. No, not so much. Instead, it's first killer who did not go for the pinch. Chronic, he get around Mist. He did well enough, but then Chronic himself got sent back. So it's Nolly on the attack. That falls right down to Jack. He can bring it to the corner. Chronic's still waiting, and now he's got to go right back where he was and have to play this ball with pressure from Sip.
Pressure from Sip and Mist. You saw that 2 demos. Chronic had to just buy Jack and Nolly time to get back in this play. Still awkward. Chronic, good touch out. Sip trying to play that high, but no one there from FaZe Clan to be able to get a follow. First killer and Mist were waiting for the clearance. First killer trying to do it all himself. Triple commit, but it's enough. Mist was too far forward, and now Sip will try to keep the ball in for FaZe.
What does Typical have up his sleeve here? He just kind of brought that down to ground, and apparently Jack didn't afford him any time. Chronic, took a pot shot there. It was off the mark, and the follow-up nowhere near the net either, so Nolly's going to bring it back to Jack. And Chronic can't jump for it. It is Typical instead. Back and forth the teams go again. FaZe Clan working on another shutout. We haven't had a game where both teams have scored yet. Jack's got something to say about it, but it's blocked away by Sip.
Ooh, Chronic trying to keep that in play. Nolly with the speed, but Mist had a read on that ball. Gen.G trying to out-pressure FaZe Clan. But now you're starting to see that defense come together. That's a good touch. Oh, Nolly was needed there at the goal line. First killer almost scored that one off a bounce off the ceiling.
This is just lobbed forward as FaZe Clan shaking their heads, I'm sure, collectively thinking, how? How does that not go? Here's first killer. A little bit of time and space. Got around Chronic, but there's Nolly. Only one to beat is Mist, but that's a good one to have back if you're FaZe Clan. Still numbers advantage. Finally, everybody files back in, and Jack will have to work from square one here for Gen.G. Going after Mist, not finding him. Down to 37 seconds as Chronic dumps it into the corner. Little awkward play there from first killer, but it works out. It kicks all the way out to the wing. Jack will have to bring it back in, and Mist will have all day to play with this.
You saw Nolly trying to get that bump there. That immediately makes the backboard open if he was able to take out Mist. Now free ball in the midfield. Sip is going to pop that up high. I think he wanted to be able to give Mist an option to go for it, but wasn't necessarily the play that they wanted. Now 10 seconds to go. Gen.G got to go to the length of the field.
Oh, they got caught forward a little bit. First killer came up way too far,
Nolly!
and they're gonna pay the price for it. Nolly gets him with 2 to go.
Takes his time and lines it up. Mist tried to add some pressure, but Nolly snipes it to the right corner. We are still playing on.
It looked like FaZe Clan was playing that last 10 seconds like they were down a goal rather than up a goal. And now this stays up. Remember what Reynolds did earlier. This finally touches down, though, and we go to overtime. What a wild sequence of events in the last 10 seconds of regulation.
Yeah, this will be very concerning for FaZe Clan if they drop this game.
Backbreaking.
Seeing as the only goal they scored, it was off of a pinch that, was technically assisted by Chronic. We still haven't seen them successful on the offense yet. They have not been able to out-pressure Gen.G except for in game number 1. Even there, a little awkward there. Noli able to get a piece of that ball. FaZe Clan have to lock in here in this moment.
Race to the corner boost there between Mist and Chronic. And now out in front, apparently Jack boom it downfield. It comes off cleanly but high. So first killer will have it over towards Typical. And very quickly downfield, maybe a little quicker than FaZe was ready for, but still moving forward. And now nobody's at the net.
Oh.
Apparently Jack's got a scramble and he won't get there. Mist wins it in OT.
You see it? That little aggression there. Noli's trying to get a high ball. No one home. Mist will pick the pockets. And FaZe Clan will take overtime. They hold on in game 3.
Well, FaZe surely felt like they were about to have that game stolen away from them, but I mean, probably more appropriate to say they almost handed it away on a silver platter to Gen.G with that equalizer with 2 seconds left. But it does not come back to haunt them. They just get to play a little extra Rocket League, get one more shot for Mist, it goes in. How about the performance that Mist is having, where we so often talk about his defense and his teamwork and his passing. We don't talk about Mist, the scorer. He scored 3, including the OT winner.
Yeah, you could tell, after yesterday's loss, like I had said earlier, that kind of criticism, Mist probably took that personally, because the way he has been leveling up has been phenomenal, and a big factor here on the side of FaZe Clan. First killer in that last game, 116 points. Mist sitting somewhere close to 500, and seeing how well he's been performing offensively, great goal participation from him. He may be the problem, and he may be the focus on the side of Gen.G.
I wonder how many K-Corp fans are staying up watching this FaZe Clan squad struggle here in this tie-breaking match with Gen.G. You know Twitter is going to be a firestorm one way or another when this one's all said and done. Here is Nolly with Chronic to his left. Pass down, and it ricochets around. Jack can go up for it. Flip, reset, drop it down. No, follow-up is blocked as well. What can Chronic do with it as he twirls his way through? It's gonna fall down freely and finally deflected out.
FaZe put up a wall, literally everybody going up there defensively to stop that ball, and it works out for them. They're able to get space. Gen.G, they had the pressure. Everybody was in the right spot, but no one could just get past his FaZe defense. That was the defense we were looking for from them in game 2. They're showing up now.
Hard out of the corner there, but Mist couldn't follow it up. That touch just getting a bit too far away from him. So now it's first killer. Around apparently Jack, stuffed by Noli. Loose ball in front here. Chronic shot's gonna whistle wide. Mist went after it anyways. And now he can start the surge downfield with Chronic trying to pick up a demo. Not finding one, but at least he forced him off the play. And here's apparently Jack. Only one to beat, but typical again. A great defensive stand.
Oh, Noli was trying to see if he could get the dunk there on Mist. Again, crucial clear there on the side of FaZe. Infield pass, there's the shot. Jack got a piece of it. Won't be a follow-up there on the side of FaZe, but strong counterattack coming out from them.
I wonder what this does maybe to the routine of some of these players too, because of course, you're used to playing maybe a long day on Sunday. These guys haven't had to. This is just the one match they're here for. You know they prepped in some way for it, but it's still very much out of the norm as FaZe Clan tries to work downfield. It's Mist with first killer waiting in midfield for a pass that once again never got there.
Oh, Jack got the double on that too, trying to set up Chronic. The first killer, Reddit got up in time. starting to see a little bit more confidence, a little bit more speed on the side of Gen.G. They're going to need that because FaZe right now have been going toe-to-toe. They've been matching their energy so far over the course of this game in this series. Gen.G kind of looked like they let some things get away. Can Chronic get this one in the back of the net? He keeps it wide open. No, he won't miss that shot. And Gen.G get on the board.
FaZe Clan collectively just unable to do anything about this other than just watch. Mist and Typical way out of position downfield. Chronic gets his first tally officially with the assist, and Noli gives Gen.G an all-important one-goal lead here in game 4.
Oh!
Jack for Chronic? No.
They kick off on that play. Thought that would lead to something. Chronic was up very early for that ball as well. But first killer on that back wall, able to shut things down. Halfway through the game, FaZe down by 1. Mist trying to lead the charge to see if they can get on the board. But Jack, with the denial on the back wall, Noli will clear things away into some space, and FaZe will have to start from scratch.
Feels like anytime you see unconventional kickoffs, the conversion rate for goals is much higher in Europe than it would ever be in North America. Just the execution doesn't quite seem to be there. It's Chronic with Noli deleted off the field. That leaves apparently Jack to wait for scraps. Chronic getting the boost arm out of the corner, so FaZe Clan's got to be very, very careful here. Midfield boost still sitting there available. Mist will take it. First killer had it drop down right to Mist, and he's got to rush back because Chronic threatened a big clear.
Like the hesitation, though, from Noli. He thought about just rushing the clear, but saw Mist, said instead, slow it down in case he has to play a 50, and then the light touch gave Chronic enough time to be able to react on that. At least they have their eyes on Mist because he has been showing up. First killer, though, getting some demos in the back end for FaZe as they try to look for a chance upfield.
First killer going to try to play this for himself, and Noli had it read the whole time. So the lead still remains for Gen.G. About to add to it. No, Mist there with the stop. First killer ahead. He's going to have to play this himself. And that goes off of Typical, and just all he could do to get it back towards Mist. It gives them an opportunity. Now apparently Jack got nothing behind that, and Gen.G's got to rush back again.
He's feeling pinch. You see Gen.G, they're controlling the ball, and then they go for the long clearance out. Instead, so FaZe, they don't end up having to play a 50 game in the midfield. FaZe always have to take the ball from their own back wall, kills the clock, and even kind of challenges FaZe defensively. FaZe moving upfield now. You see Mist is trying to get a redirect play out. Sip will put that net words, but not enough on target. They're trying to out-pressure Gen.G on the counter, but they just don't have their pieces set on the board.
And that clearance there from Jack will let everybody get boosted up, including himself. But here goes first killer. He's beat 2. Only 1 to beat, but it's Chronic who makes the stop. Now Typical. Got to work quickly, and he does not have Mist, so he's got to call an audible in the air, and that's just not going to happen. Now Noli, without first killer to contend with. It's available for Chronic, but sailed high. Apparently Jack with the dagger right through the heart of FaZe.
They turn it around right on FaZe. Noli up quickly, Chronic with the beat on Sip, and Mist can only just try to put a hand up as Jack has that ball all day long. Gen.G, after taking the lead, have controlled FaZe Clan, and they look to control game 4 all the way down to the final second.
Very similar to game 1, looking like a similar scoreline. No, add 1 more to the puzzle as Chronic gets his first goal of the series. It comes in effectively garbage time, but it certainly erases any doubt.
Yep, quickly off the kickoff. Good 50 from Noli. Keep that ball going networks. No one home on the side of FaZe Clan. And now we're looking at a tied-up series here after the final 10.
So the final countdown here at Utopia. About what we expected. 2 teams that have been evenly matched all season. Certainly through this split, the points indicate that, and nothing separates them but a little bit of distance on your screen right now. Gen.G level the series.
Both teams still have timeouts available. And we'll see if we get one out of FaZe, but you're right. Gen.G leveling the series, but this series has been kind of close here. FaZe Clan have shown signs of life. We ended up seeing it. Gen.G, whenever they've taken wins, it's been in this fashion, 3-0. And one of the things that's really interesting about the stats is only 2 shots on the side of FaZe.
Yeah. Against 13 on the other side. Gen.G just did not let them relax at all on the offensive end. FaZe did have a couple opportunities that, look, no team is ever going to convert 100%, but there's some that you can't afford to miss when you're afforded those chances, and FaZe had, I think, a couple of them that I think one of them didn't even register as a shot. So unfortunate for FaZe. Gen.G, a lot of credit to them. They put the clamps down on FaZe and limited those chances. And now we go on to game 5, and now the pressure really mounts on both of these squads, because one slip up could mean you're looking up at match point the other way.
Gen.G looking like a well-oiled machine. I realized what I just said there. But on the side of FaZe Clan, the biggest thing here, we talked about missed performance. We have not said First Killer's name that much. He's been playing well, but not to the impact that I'm sure FaZe fans are known for. And he's not even going to have that touch at the beginning of the game. Full whiff. He just goes straight into the Gen.G net. We need to see more First Killer on the side of FaZe Clan before this series gets into danger time.
Yeah, Gen.G have had their hands full keeping him at bay. He's had quite a few mechanical looks that the entire defense at some point or another has had to step up and defend. Chronic just sky one up, and Typical will boom it away. First Killer was downfield, and you wonder if that may be more of a theme as this series rolls on. It's going to cost him here. Chronic with the strike, and it comes just over 40 seconds into game 5 off a great feed from Jack.
Yeah, great feed from Jack. Chronic able to push it into the top right corner. Full faith on the play. And now seeing Chronic getting going here with the goals. Just showing Gen.G, everybody getting involved here offensively.
He scored the last 2 now for Gen.G. Going back to that kickoff goal in game 4 that really put it away. This is like a conga line for Gen.G. They come away with possession somehow, and First Killer's forced to make a save, and that's got to be frustrating for Raul to watch, to see them all bunched up like that, and FaZe not take advantage.
Yeah, because Noli and Chronic, I mean, Chronic was right behind Noli that entire time. Someone rushed the ball, no one from FaZe able to, and not only that, Gen.G ended up getting the possession from that, pushing it to the back half. FaZe have not been able to kind of speed up the pace of play here. It's been very awkward for them.
Oh, that's a good job by First Killer, at least getting one on target, but easily dealt with by Chronic. Was kind of an unconventional opportunity, and now here goes Noli, just slowly bringing this out of the zone. Then Jack will change speeds. First Killer was ready for it. Now Chronic, throw it at the backboard. No rebound. Oh, it is. It's Noli, easily stopped by Mist.
He plays it around First Killer too, so Jack's gonna get a flip reset on that. Noli looking for when he's getting involved. Gets involved on the 50, Mist on top of the ball, will clear it away. And First Killer able to assist there too. Gets a good beat to the side. This may be all FaZe. No, Typical couldn't get there. Chronic with the block. Follow up again. Blocked out by Chronic. Gen.G keep this a 1-goal game.
It's a different player every time for Gen.G. There's nobody whose set role is, hey, I'm going to be the best defensive player on the team. Everybody's stepping up, putting a hand up on whoever is bringing it in for Mist, or for FaZe. This time it was Mist. Now First Killer. As Typical rotates back, he'll have to circle around on this ball, and he missed it. So now apparently Jack running forward. He's trying to steal the corner boost. Now he'll finally take it, but maybe a missed opportunity to just get back on the ball and maybe double this lead. Instead, it's almost a tie game, but Jack got back for the save. First Killer there again, and he'll score.
There he is. He won't quit when he's in that upper half. Gets the initial shot. Miss, puts it mid. He says, I'm going up again. Amazing speed over there from First Killer. FaZe Clan tied things up.
Does it feel like there's still over 2 minutes to go here in this game? This has just been back and forth. There's been a track meet between these two. Now First Killer and Mist are up ahead. Typical waiting. He'll come in now. It's a real tough angle, so he'll try and slow play it. Chronic will swat it away and deal with Mist on the way back. Mist got that midfield boost, and First Killer will take the ball. Mist in behind him. Typical forward as well. All hands on deck offensively for FaZe, but it's apparently Jack with the save.
And it's really FaZe in the midfield right now. They're winning every challenge they need to, and then they're putting Gen.G in tough spots on that back end. FaZe Clan dominating the space right now as they're looking for another goal.
FaZe Clan so much more deadly when it's First Killer leading the attack. Not much to fear when he's not, as that's deflected out. Chronic will have to bring it all the way back towards apparently Jack, but Jack needs boost, so he'll go back to the corner and he'll play it here. Very smart decision making there from apparently Jack and the Gen.G defense, as Chronic has Noli running interference, and he breaks the tie.
The call there for Noli to go for that. Noli initially last back on the play, rushes out in front, looking for that bump on first killer, making it awkward and missed. Tried to get a piece of the ball, could not do it. Gen.G with the lead.
Chronic has come alive here. You go back to that kickoff goal at the last game. He's got the last 3 now for Gen.G. Throwing this one forward. That first killer will let come off the wall, and, well, he just kind of got a little squirrely there coming off the side. So now it's Noli. On a ball that was left alone for far too long. He got the bump, but got knocked back into it. Doesn't matter. Chronic adds another.
You gotta give it for Noli again, creating the space here. Gets the bump on miss. That touch actually throws Typical off. He has to land and then get back up in the air. Chronic took his time, placed the shot perfectly.
The lead extends for Gen.G. Looking at match point. If they can hold on for a minute. 2-goal lead. First killer over towards Mist. First will pump the brakes and let Mist cook, but it is sent away by apparently Jack. Typical dish it off towards first killer, who had to turn and travel a long way to get to it, but at least got back into the play for now. See what Typical can do here with 45 seconds as he skies it up to the ceiling. It's just a giveaway to Chronic. And that's the last guy you want to see on the ball if you're FaZe.
Things have been getting a little bit more physical, though, as time ticks down. FaZe have been making a lot of off-ball plays, trying to look for a way past Gen.G. There's a bump right there, set up a lane for Sip. But Jack, good reaction in time. First killer tried to leave it for Mist, but Mist wasn't in position, and now Typical has to get back to stop the shot. Does do so, but now time killed on the clock. 17 seconds. FaZe need 2 goals, and Jack is killing so much time as he stays on top of the ball.
5, 6, 7 seconds burned there. Now first killer, gotta add one here, and he does with 6 seconds left. So remember those few extra seconds that Jack just killed there as FaZe get back within 1.
Keep your eye on the kickoff too. FaZe get this one. They only need 1. They can have, no matter where this ball goes, they'll have time.
6 seconds feels like an eternity when you're in this situation. Mist got it through cleanly. First killer's there for the rebound. Can't get up for it though.
Oh!
It's typical. No, bar down and away. Oh, he had a tight window to shoot through with all the traffic in front, but it's at least got to be on target.
Oh man, that was such a good shot chance for Sip. Free ball, final seconds left. Hey, you're right. He had to put that on. They had everything though.
They did. I mean, they did everything right.
Yeah, they had
the finish.
Except the finish. I mean, Gen.G crowded the net. There was only so many places to put the ball there, but even then, Sip did have the free lane, and now FaZe Clan, they can't take it with them. Use the timeout. Tiebreaker point. Winner this, we either go into game 7 if FaZe take it, or Gen.G are gonna book their ticket to Boston if they win this next game.
Trying to do some very quick math here. Both teams had come in to this series having scored exactly 90 goals each against the opposition. Just crazy how equal these two teams have been. The goal differential here in this series, quick mental math, +4 for Gen.G, with, again, Chronic really coming alive here. He scored the last 4 for Gen.G as we get set to go to Neo Tokyo, and that man, first killer, has a lot to contemplate, as does Roldiz. The coach once said that a certain someone felt invisible during one of the European regionals. Could be that FaZe Clan's about to pull a disappearing act for the Boston Major. We look back at the highlight reel from Game 5 and how Gen.G hangs on for dear life at the end, thanks to that man, Chronic. Neo Tokyo, the backdrop, Daz. What does FaZe have to do here? What's the one key to victory to get to Champions Field?
I mean, biggest key to victory is kind of shaking off this pressure. I mean, you got to think about last time FaZe Clan were in a high pressure moment with a game 6 down in the series was against Karmi Corp in the last major grand finals. For them, staying composed and locked in during this moment is going to be great. If they take this game, they'll have so much momentum going into game number 7. But Gen.G, when they're in that offensive front, they've been able to get those demos, get those bumps, make FaZe uncomfortable, similar to what Optic ended up doing in their series against them as well. FaZe Clan got to play around the demos, got to get more physical on their own. Can they push Gen.G to the brink, or will their run in the spring split end here?
We're off and underway in what could be the last game of the regional season. Here in North America, it's typical. Intercepted by Nolly. It's just barely high. And apparently Jack will pull a solo act of his own, but Typical is going to sweep it away. Nolly and Chronic gave it a look. Chronic will get demolished. Nolly won't get back in time, and Typical scores this one.
Long clearance here from Sip. Gets that great touch to set things up. A little bit of a chain dash, getting the extra power on the back of the ball. And like you said, Nolly couldn't get there in time. Good here for FaZe. They have the lead early, and there's a lot of time left on the clock.
Mist had scored that overtime winner in game 3. And then from there, all the goals had come from First Killer. You know, all 2 of them after they were shut out in game 4. Finally, Typical getting on the board to go with a pair of assists for him. Here goes Mist. Might have a second touch lined up. He does. First Killer will continue to chase. And it's bounced away by apparently Jack through First Killer. And he's got Nolly in position, and First Killer comes back for the save.
Nolly looking for a bump here on Mist. Tried to see if he can get around it. Jack there with help. Gen.G are going to force their way back into the game. Everybody involved is a tie.
This is just craziness for Mist to have to deal with. I mean, he's got to look at all angles coming through here, and still finally got a piece of it. But apparently Jack forces that through, and we're right back where we started here in game 6. Nolly trying to beat First Killer, but the shot's wide. Typical got a piece of it anyways. Loose in front for Chronic. He might be able to stay with this play. He is, but Mist there to help out. First Killer has the boost spawn in behind him after he leaves it, of course. And here goes Gen.G again. Jack for Chronic. Nobody there, though, as Chronic takes the corner boost and has to dump it back off to the side.
Chance here for Chronic if he can get there. Mist there with the speed. You were right, though. No one was there. Nolly was looking to see if he could disrupt. And even though they headed off the back wall, there was no one to take the shot. Still good pressure. They are outpacing FaZe to the ball, but if they can't increase the scoreline, what's it worth?
Typical pumps the brakes here, realizes he's got to get in position. The shot's wide, and the follow-up here rolls right to Mist. And he'll bounce it away, but only temporarily. It's coming right back in. Nolly with Chronic circling around in midfield. It's going to be apparently Jack's shot. That is set away by Typical. Now Mist has to control. And FaZe collectively doing okay on boost, but okay is not very confidence-inspiring as Chronic double tap, bang, bang!
Chronic is crazy. Look at this. That first touch out gets the speed over Sip. Dodges the bump and hammers it home. Double to put Gen.G in the lead.
So the gauntlet thrown down now to FaZe Clan. Team that scored first has won every game in this series. And FaZe keep it going. Apparently Jack, oh, he sailed that one way high. And if he'd hit that any harder, it would have been a clear breakaway off the rebound for FaZe Clan. Very fortunate that the shot, I guess, wasn't as bad as it could have been. Nolly's first touch wasn't a whole lot there, and Typical almost took it away. Here goes First Killer, blocked by Chronic with authority.
And Mist was waiting there first. FaZe Clan haven't been able to connect here on the passing like they're normally able to. And it's been tough. I mean, they've already been starved out boost-wise in that last goal that was scored by Gen.G. Being able to play together is going to be a big factor here as time starts to tick down. That teamwork needs to come into play for FaZe.
First Killer opting to call his own number, going downfield quickly, and the infield pass. Typical can hang around for this. This shot's on, but the entire defense swarming in for Gen.G.
Gen.G not looking to give things away easily. There's a demo on the play. Shot was blocked out. Good pass in transition, too. And Sip tried to jump up for that early. Thought he had a read on things. Just trying to push things to the limit. How far can FaZe go with their backs against the wall here and time ticking down against them?
Gen.G have been caught forward maybe a little bit too much here. You can tell maybe they're pressing for a knockout blow. They got to be real careful because they've almost got beaten over the top a few times in this game alone. Here's Nolly leaving it for apparently Jack. It'll ricochet around for Chronic to Nolly to make it 2-3-1 Gen.G.
You give them time. Look at what they do. Typical last back, sees the pass. Nolly, great angle to the top right corner. Everything going in favor of Gen.G in game 6. They are a minute 17 seconds away. You can bet FaZe are going to send the fire as the clock ticks.
Typical quickly away, but nobody else downfield. Now Mist will try, as Typical will try and chase it down to no avail. He got a piece of that though, and that's maybe the only reason it stayed out. Now Chronic, throw it up high, and why not just chuck it at the back wall and make FaZe Clan do all the extra work. First killer, right there was Nolly. So Typical will try now. He gave it away to Chronic, who puts it under the bar and in.
And disaster on the side of FaZe. Typical trying to see if he can get some control. Straight to Chronic, straight under the crossbar. That could be Gen.G booking their trip to Boston right there.
With 43 seconds, FaZe Clan has a mountain to climb. First killer couldn't get a piece of it. Mist will bring it around. Nolly in the way again. Mist trying to bring it down to first, but it's just outside. Now Typical, nothing behind it. Oh, first killer found a way to wizard that one through.
It's not over yet. They get it with 30 seconds left. Look at this, the first killer all over the ball. Just no chance he was letting that opportunity go. FaZe Clan are gonna need some magic if they wanna get back in this game.
Well, 30 seconds. Plenty of time for two, especially with only Chronic at the back. Typical, throw it in the air. Chronic and Nolly kind of got tied up there on the corner, but apparently Jack should have this away, but he doesn't. First killer shot sent away by Chronic. Gen.G is gonna have to work for it here because you know they're gonna get FaZe's best shot here in the last 10 seconds. First killer, pop it up. Nobody's home. Nolly will clear it away. And it looks like time is gonna run out on FaZe Clan. The final few seconds tick away. And some way, somehow, the British are coming and they're bringing the young Prince Chronic to Boston.
They finish this one out. FaZe will get one goal for the road, but Gen.G Mobil won.